Hey guys, another episode on the Caddy. Today we'll be sorting out the hubs. So I've taken the hubs out of the solution that I put in. It was a Bilt Hammer Deox-C, which is this one here. So I left it in there for about, I'd say about 2 days. It says not to leave it in there for more than 24 hours. But I left it in for 2 days, and as you can see, the results are amazing. There are some little spots of rust, which I'm now going over with the drill, just to remove them, like in the bottom corner over here. But as you can see, all the other parts, they came out fairly good. Also, I put some bolts in there as well. They all came out really good and clean. So yeah, so today we'll be figuring out the hubs. So I'm going to give them a quick respray, couple coats of primer, and then spray them black. I'll save you the hassle of watching all of that, as in the previous episodes we've been spraying a lot. So I'll quickly get these wire wheeled, give them a coat of paint, and then we'll be putting the actual bearings and the hub onto the carriers. Okay, so the hub carrier has been painted gloss black. I didn't paint the inside because that's where the actual bearing is going to go. So I've got a new bearing, a new hub with the correct hardware, also 2 new circlips, and I've got a hub bearing puller. I'll show you how I'll be using this soon, but I'll show you quickly on how I got the old hubs out of the carrier. So this is the old hub and the bearing. So if you just imagine that the carrier is in between over here. So the first step I done was to hit out the actual hub itself. So I used a socket, I think it was 24mm, put it over here, and then the actual hub came out. So it was only the bearing left in. So then I used the bearing puller tool to pull this bearing out of the hub. But once you see me put it in, I think you'll get the same idea. Okay, so I'm just using the bearing tool to pull the new bearing inside of the carrier. So when you put the bearing in, just make sure that you put it in straight. You can put some oil around the bearing just to help it slide in a little bit better, and make sure that everything just goes in straight so you don't damage the bearing. So when you're putting the bearing into the hub, make sure not to pull it in too far, otherwise you might cause damage to the bearing. Also, when you put the hub in, it might not fit correctly. So here I'm just putting the circlips into the hub. Make sure that when you put it in, it's seated correctly and not going to pop out. Also try and get the correct tool to put them in. I was using pliers here and it kept popping out, but if you have the right tool, it'll probably make the job a bit more easy. you purchase the hub, try and get a seal for the hub itself, as if you don't, dirt and moisture can get into the bearing and damage it. So here you can see I've got a seal for the hub and I'm just installing it. So if you're watching this and you want to remove the bearing from the carrier instead of put it in, use the same technique but in reverse. So instead of pulling the bearing in to the carrier, pull it out of it. I use the same technique and it was quite easy to remove it. A lot of people say online that you can't get it out, you need a press, but you can use the same technique and have good results. So that's it, both of the bearings are in the hubs now, and it's all looking clean. Some little minor paint damage at the back, but it should be okay. But yeah, so now the next step is going to be getting them into the car.
Perfect.
So that's it, all of the bolts are on now, the new hub is on. I've put the old brake disc, the quality of it was okay, it's not worn out at all, it looks like it's brand new. The brake pads are really good as well, and I resprayed just a brake caliper just to make it look a little bit better. So that's it guys, the hub carriers are on, and it's looking quite neat. Now you can see that I definitely need tracking done, because this side is facing left and if I go around to this side it's facing right, so the tracking definitely needs to be done. So I've got both sides all done and buttoned up. I've also just been playing around with the engine mounts I've resprayed, including the front one, just to see how they look. But yeah, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Also be sure to share this video to all of your friends. Don't forget to turn the notifications on so you can stay up to date with all Caddy related videos. Thanks for watching guys.